What's up guys, it's Jeff, and today's going to be a little bit of an update video from a previous video that I had made. So up until about a month ago, I had tried out quite a few different EDC belts, gun belts, and just belts in general for my everyday carry. And the two that I had really landed on were a couple of the more popular ones, the Core Essentials and the Next Belt Supreme Appendix. And I kind of went through the reasons why I ended up thinking, and in my opinion, the Next Belt was a little bit better, at least for me, in terms of everyday carry. Now, with that being said, since then I have found a belt that, again, my opinion, my preference, is even better than the Next Belt and the Core Essentials. So today I'm going to be kind of going through a brief overview of each of the belts and then the new belt as well. So starting with the Core Essentials, I had really liked this belt. I really liked how rigid it was, but the rigidity of it was also a kind of a con for me, if you will. It didn't really flex a lot with my body. And then also the buckle, I understand that you can change it out. You can try, different ones. I was able to look at a couple different buckles in one of my local stores, and they all look like they're about the same thickness. So I'm not sure if that would help with the issue that I was having in trying to adjust it around my waist. But yeah, so that was the big thing with the Core Essentials. I liked it, but it was just a little bit too stiff and a little bit too rigid for me and my preference. The Next Belt Supreme, so I really liked this because it was a little bit less rigid, had a little bit more give to it, and also the buckle, it has just this little button, if you can see it, right here, and that's all it is in terms of adjusting. The core has, hopefully you can see it, this little lever tab right here, and you have to push it forward. It's the same action, but for me, when I had it on, the Next Belt worked a little bit better. So I liked the belt buckle, the action of the button, and then also how it did have a little bit more give to it. It made it a little bit more comfortable for me. So that is the two belts that I had previously done a review on. Up to that point, again, liked both of these the best. Now, since that video, I had somebody mention it to me in the comments to try a certain belt. I saw a couple, different YouTubers, start looking at this belt and really having positive reviews. And it caught my eye for a couple different reasons, and I will go ahead and tell you about those right now. So this is the Hunter Constantine EDC belt. So the big thing that stuck out to me is the flexibility on the back end. So it's elastic, I want to say it's elastic, but the front is going to be the more rigid part, and then about halfway it switches to this elastic. For me, the comfort for the Hunter Constantine as opposed to the Next Belt and the Core is a night and day difference. So this is much more comfortable for me. It works well when I'm sitting in the car. I really don't even feel like I have the belt on. I really don't notice it. When I'm walking, if I'm jogging, whatever I'm doing, if I'm bending down, the back, the elastic part really seems to contour to my body a lot better. And then you have the front, so it looks like it's way more flexible, but it has this metal insert, I hope you can see it, that stays rigid, and it looks more flexible, but it seems like it's just as stiff as the next belt, so not as stiff as the core. But I haven't had any issues with any firearm that I have sagging, falling, whatever, whenever I'm carrying it. The only thing that I would say is that the ease of adjustment is probably not quite as good as the core and next belt, because they have the this little system in the belt that's just a quick, open and close. This one, for the Hunter Constantine, you're gonna have this just right here, which is you're kind of like a standard belt, I guess, where you'll pull it, or depending on the direction, if you need to make the belt bigger or smaller. And then you have these two little hook systems, depending on how, if you want to loosen it a little bit when you're going to carry, or tighten it when you're not, your preference. That's the only thing that I would say is not up to par with the other two, but it's also the style of belt. So these are going to be like a ratchet system, the next and the core, and the Hunter Constantine isn't. So it is kind of comparing two different things, but in the same category of belts. But this Hunter Constantine has become my belt that I wear every day. It's super comfortable. I have no issues carrying any of my firearms, so Glock 19 to Stealth Arms Platypus, no issues. And it really does make appendix carry that much more enjoyable, I guess, as it can be. And another thing with the Hunter Constantine is that if you have back issues or lower back pain or anything like that, I've heard of a lot of people saying that the stretchy in the back really helps reduce the amount of back pain or trigger that may come from a much more rigid belt. So again, this is, my opinion, but I think that, at least for me, the Hunter Constantine EDC belt is it's the best belt that I've tried to date. Again, I've tried quite a few, and this one for me is it's the best blend between comfort and function. So I hope that helps you guys. I hope it helps you if you're kind of on the fence between what belt to get, or maybe just so you don't have to spend the money between in order to try a core belt or a next belt, Hunter Constantine, any of the other belts. These are the three that have stood out to me, and then again, Hunter Constantine has the one that's been the best in my opinion. So let me know what you think. Have you tried the Hunter Constantine belt? Have you been on the fence about it? Do you have any opinions if you do have it? Or do you think core is still better? I know we have a lot of core essentials fans. So let me know what you think. Drop your comments down below. And I will go ahead and I'll see you guys on the next one.